Good?
The thing about this is every time, you guys, you have to realize there's a lot of people who are attending a comic convention for their very first time. So raise your hand if this is your very first comic convention of all time, right here, guys. These are the hardcore, they're here at day number 1, they're here to see you. And I just want to say, you prepared to laugh, you're going to ask some great questions. Murr is one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. He's so kind.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Is this your first time in Tampa?
No, we've been here many times on tour, but my first time at Tampa Bay Comic-Con. How many of you guys are Impractical Jokers fans, I take it? Does anyone here, they were here for a different panel and just realized it's me now? I appreciate the honesty. Who are you here to see? Because I was here to see William Shatner. That's not me. I'm the bald middle-aged guy on TV. That is funny.
Yeah. Well, welcome. We're so excited to have you here. And what we're going to do is we have some people who want to ask some questions. But before we get to that, I always have to talk about I have 2 things I have to talk about here. My favorite punishment of all time that you ever had to do was when you had to stand in front of the art class.
Oh yeah.
Naked.
Yes. That is, you guys know the punishment he's talking about? So they had me go out, I was completely bare-ass naked, and they had me stand in front of an art class of people painting my naked body as if I'm a model, and I'm on a pedestal, and it's one of the only times in show history my knees have buckled from laughing because I didn't realize that if they hit a switch, the pedestal would rotate. So all these people that are painting my front, suddenly I'm like a pig on a spit, rotating around, and they're staring at my ass. I was mortified, my knees buckled from laughing.
And so my brother-in-law is a hardcore fan. I mean, he's like just idolizes you. And he asked me to ask the first question, and then we'll start with the question.
Okay.
He talked about that, he says the funniest thing that he's ever seen on television, ever, is when you had to do the public prostate exam. He said that he got sick because he was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
Like, how, was that like...
I think the guys have an obsession with my posterior section, They get me all that. I've had like 3 prostate exams, had a catheter put in me.
No.
Did anybody see last night's episode?
No.
Some people saw it. There are children here. Yes, I take it. So I'm going to phrase it in a very specific way. In the punishment last night, I was on a TV panel. Method Man from the Wu-Tang Clan was a celebrity guest. And I was introduced as a TV expert. And there's like 50 people in the room watching. But right before I walked out onto the panel, the guys had me insert an adult apparatus in my posterior section that they controlled via Bluetooth, and they could control the speed and intensity of it, and it had 4 settings: earthquake, tsunami, hurricane, and smooth jazz. So every time Method Man has asked me a question, I'm leaping out of the goddamn chair. They're obsessed with my butt.
What was the best? Smooth jazz?
Smooth jazz was lovely. I suggest you try it.
Alright, so let's go into our first question right over here.
Hello.
Hi, Vern. I'm a big fan, sorry. I was just wondering, what got you in the TV industry?
Wow, good question. The guys and I have been friends since high school, right? You've seen the show. And even from high school, I always dreamt of being a comedian on TV or movies, and we all did. And after college, we formed our comedy troupe. We performed live for many years, and we sucked. And it took us 11 years to get on TV. A lot of failure along the way. But along the way, I realized 100 different ways not to get on TV, And I guess kind of naively thought, I never wanted to audition or go to casting calls. That's not our skill set. Our skill set is improv, reactionary kind of humor. And our chemistry together is kind of undeniable. So along the way, after failing a lot, I said, you know what, let me try selling TV shows for a living. So I got a job in TV development. I did that for a decade. I ran development for the company that makes Impractical Jokers and pitched and sold lots of TV shows along the way, and then very selfishly cast my friends and I in a TV show. And so the guys and I created the show. I wrote the treatment for it. I pitched it through my job. I was pretty high up in the company at that point, and that's how we sold the TV show. So that was kind of our path into comedy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was cool.
Thank you.
What's up, James?
What's up, buddy?
Can I call you James?
You can. What's your name?
Oh, you're looking like a dad today.
Don't worry, hi.
Yeah.
For the question? Just for your question. Thanks. When I wear a baseball hat, I look like I'm 12 years old. I really do. Yes, sir. What's your question?
I want want you to tell me the best original joke that you've made.
Wow!
Yes. Original.
We have to be.
Great answer, but I can't say it. There are kids here. I did it yesterday. It was so good. I'll figure out how to say it. So we were filming yesterday. It's stupid. We were filming yesterday, and the challenge was it was like sudden death debate. Can I bring this mic up? Is anybody?
Steve, can you turn the mic up?
Turn this one up if you don't mind. Thank you, sir. So, much better. Thank you. So we're filming sudden death debate, where we have to have an insane debate in front of a person and get them to decide who's right. And the debate was what's the best first thing to do in prison, to join a gang or to become a bitch. Okay, what's better as your first day in prison? And so the guys are debating, and the line I fed them was, "What do you want to do? Join a gang or get gang?" That was a great joke. Gang versus gang. Anyway, oh, here.
Thank you.
Did it mess my hair?
My hair.
My question for you is, since there have been so many seasons of Impractical Jokers now, how often do you find that you've been recognized by the people?
It happens all the time. Yesterday was our first day filming back in a mall in 3 years. And obviously, a lot of people watched the show during the pandemic, you know. I think we were a lot of people's pandemic show. And so we had no idea what it was going to be like going to a mall again for the first time since 2018. And it was chaos. We had kids showing up, and they're trying to be smooth about it, right? They're like, because if you know the show, you can't be on the show. We're still trying to prank people that don't know us, right? So you see kids walking through the mall. Clearly, they got a text from their friend. Impractical Jokers filming at the American Dream Mall, and they're walking through like this, trying to be subtle, and they're not subtle at all. I was like, I got you, bro. I know you're a fan. So yeah, it happens all the time, but we work through it.
Let's talk about, like, you've talked about this before, because you've gotten so popular and so recognizable that, like, when you have those panels sometimes, you've got that way where you walk down a hallway and people, can you talk about that?
Oh yeah, so we have little tricks to keep the show real. So let's say the 5 of you here in the front row get called in for a focus group. You're getting paid, you think you're going to make some money, you have no idea you're secretly walking onto Impractical Jokers, right? And you don't know each other. So what we'll do is we'll take you first, we'll walk you down the hall, you have no idea that Sal's in the other room with their hidden cameras, and as you walk down the hall, I'll be there in the hallway on my phone or whatever, I'll strike up a conversation with you, because if you recognize me, we stop you before you get in the room and affect the whole room. So as you walk by, the producer will turn around and look at me, and I'll either give a thumbs up, which means you don't know me, you're not going to recognize Sal, or we'll give a thumbs down, which means that you're a fan, we thank you for being a fan, and then we take you outside and we kick the crap out of you. I'm kidding. Yeah, okay, next question.
Next question.
Hello.
Hi.
First of all, you like jazz?
Do I like what?
Jazz.
Jazz?
Jazz.
Jazz?
You like smooth jazz?
Smooth jazz? It was very pleasing.
But I'm glad you liked it. So my question is, what do you think is the most complex joke you guys have had to pull off?
Wow, great question. The most complex joke we've ever had to pull. Oh my God. Can I tell you guys an idea? Everyone raise your right hands. Promise to not record this in any way or post it anywhere on social media.
Do you see all the phones are starting to come?
Okay? I want to see every camera down. Promise me? This is like a circle of trust, yes? I have this idea. It will be the most elaborate thing we've ever done, is to prank Sal for an episode where he doesn't even realize he loses. On our day off from filming, he thinks we have to shoot like a commercial for the network, right, for a product or something. So we take, and the commercial's shooting like on the edge of this beautiful cliff overlooking the ocean or what have you, and while Sal's there, I want to walk up to the edge of the cliff and onto the railing and do the old Superman joke where I'm hanging off the railing at Niagara Falls, and I want to fall off the cliff. He's going to have a heart attack because he's obsessed with heights and railings. He doesn't trust them. He'll have a heart attack, go running over, and I've landed safely like 100 feet below on an airbag. It's just to mess with his mom. I want to do that so bad. I'm going to do it, I promise you. That'll be the most complex one. I want to fake my own death, yes.
Tell people how scared you were and that real fear when you had to skydive.
Oh man, cry diving? When they told me I had a cry dive, I ran, for real, I ran off set. I locked myself in the bathroom of the place for a half hour and I would not come out. I was crying hysterically. And from the bathroom, I FaceTimed my mother to say goodbye and I love her. She rejected the call. And she texted me, she goes, can't talk, shopping at Macy's. Thanks, Mom. Yes.
While you were filming, what was the worst disaster that happened while you were filming?
Wow, good question. I'll answer it two ways. First, there was an almost disaster that thankfully I'm still here. The Impractical Jokers movie, did anybody see it? If you know, I lost the movie and they made me fly outside of an airplane, which is incredibly dangerous. It's so dangerous that they had to take a $15 million life insurance policy out on me in case I died doing it. And the only way the insurance company would insure the movie is if we filmed that punishment on the final day of shooting. That way, if I died, they could still release the movie. Almost a disaster. Other than that, I've only been hit once on the TV show. I was the only one. We were filming at this discount superstore, and they had this giant bin of jeans, and this big guy, twice my height, twice my width, is shopping, and they ran down to the floor like the biggest bra you've ever seen in your life, like a size Z bra. And they said, Murr, go up to the guy and hold the bra up to his chest without saying anything. And when he asks you what the hell you're doing, say that he's about the same size as your wife, so you want to see the bra if the bra will fit her. He did not take kindly to it. He took out his cell phone, whacked me in the face, gave me a black eye, and then chased me around the store like a scurrying little ferret. It's crazy. Yeah. Yes, hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
My name is Megan. My question is there any pranks or anything that you guys did that you wish would have been shown, but were just either too bad that they couldn't have been shown, or just
we only got shut down by the police once. And it's a great idea on paper, not good in reality. Here was the idea. This is like season 3 or 4. We would go to a children's playground in New York City. And you know how parents baby talk their kids? Oh, he's just such a good baby, that kind of stuff, right? So the idea was this: you've got to go up to a stranger pushing a baby in a carriage and start baby talking the kid. Then you've got to start to baby talk the adult and get them to try to baby talk back to you. And guess what happens when 4 middle-aged men with no children of their own start acting weird in a playground? And then a SWAT team descended on the park, and we almost got arrested. They shut us down. So you'll never see it on TV, but we filmed it.
Thank you.
Hello. What's your name?
Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Is there a prank we always wanted to do, but couldn't do one reason or another, or what always got a lot of pushback on?
Oh, good question. Is there a prank we've always wanted to do? What's the idea? There's one that I really want to do. Oh, we haven't done it yet. If I have my druthers, we're going to do it this season. I want to get up in front of a panel. I want to lose an episode. This is one of the rare ideas where it doesn't matter if I know the idea, you know? I want to get up in front of a room, like a serious conference. I'm speaking on a panel, and I'm in a suit. But unbeknownst to the audience, the guys have rigged my entire body to bleed. And they can control where I bleed from. I can bleed from my nipples or what have you. And they control where I bleed from and how much I bleed. But I've got to keep working through the presentation. And just people would freak the F out. I want to do that. I want to do that. I seriously want to see it.
Thank you.
Yeah. I like your shirt.
You're going to think I'm stalking you, but I'm not, honestly.
Oh, you're my friend from London I met before, right? No? Where are you from?
I'm from England originally.
Whereabouts?
Right in the middle, a place called Wolverhampton.
Oh, great. Good to see you.
Nobody's ever heard of, but that's where I'm from. So my wife and I, we love the show. My wife's American, I live here now for 9 years. And my dad, he's obsessed with the show. He's getting on a bit, but he still finds it funny, just about.
Yep.
So my favourite skit, so to speak, was when you were doing the speech with the helium.
The helium with sulfur hexafluoride? Yeah.
So we actually bought some and tried it, which was pretty cool.
Did you? You bought some?
Yeah. I didn't know you could do
like Amazon Prime?
Yeah, it was Amazon. Yeah, you can get it. So we did it, and we had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
But that episode, the first time my wife and I saw it, I'm not going to go into all the detail, but we were in bed, and we were watching the show, and we were crying when you did it. My dad watched it, and he said to me, nah, they're just doing sound effects, so can you please confirm for my dad That was real. It wasn't just sound effects.
So go back and watch the punishment. Watch carefully.
I've watched it about 5 times.
Watch carefully for the wide shots. If you watch carefully, you'll see an EMT about 10 feet away from me on stage because it was really dangerous because I'm not breathing any oxygen for like a half hour.
Yeah.
I'm going back and forth from helium to sulfur hexafluoride, and they had an ambulance right outside the door in case I passed out and asphyxiated. They could rush me and revive me. That's how real it is. Watch the wide shots of that punishment. You'll see the EMT in the corner watching me carefully to see if I black out.
Thank you.
That's how real it is. Take it down. Suck it down.
Hi,
Hey, buddy, what's your name?
Brayden.
Nice to meet you, buddy.
What's
Are those Tony Stark glasses? Yes.
What's it like being the head of My Shiny Honey?
So very funny, Brandon. I'm getting sass from the kid. Okay? What he's referring to is the guy's maybe the spokesperson for My Shiny Honey, which is an anal bleaching kit. And they put it on my face on all the products around the country. They took out a billboard on the Turnpike in Jersey with my face on it, with the face of anal bleaching. What's worse, and then they took out a full-page ad in the New York Post about it. But the worst part of the punishment wasn't any of those. Do you guys down here get those value coupon packs in the mail like once a month, like really thick? They took an ad out in New York City for that coupon pack. 8 million New Yorkers got a coupon for buying an anal bleaching kit from me. So thanks for the sass, kid.
Thank you, I love the show.
You know the best part is when we were talking about that, you guys can't see your faces. Half the audience is delighted and smiling, and the other half is just like, they're mortified. They're like, no, is that really true? Right now.
Hello, sir. What's your name?
Jose.
Hi, Jose. Nice to meet you, buddy.
So how was it working with Chris Jericho?
What's that? One more time?
How was it working with Chris Jericho?
With Chris Jericho? Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, thank you. He was awesome, man. He's been a friend of ours for years, and he gave Q the business. We just filmed yesterday on set. If you're a wrestling fan, do you know the wrestler MJF?
Yeah.
From AEW?
Oh, yeah.
He was on set for a challenge yesterday, and he killed us. He was great. It was a lot of fun. He's a great guy.
So before we get this question, hey guys, I have to say this. Something very interesting. You guys might not know this about Murr. Incredibly funny guy. Very funny. Now, one of my favorite things is I like to read, and when Murr's like, oh, did you know that I write books? I mean, he told me this about like a year ago. I was like, no. And so I went and got this book. This is his book, guys. It's called The Stowaway. And I've been told, is this true? Are they turning this into a movie?
Yeah, I was just on a call before about it. Yeah, where the screenplay is being written right now.
They're turning this into a movie?
Yeah.
So this is, if you guys go to his booth, he will sign this for you, right? This is one of the most chilling books I've ever read. Then,
This one is about, I write thrillers a lot. I love scary things. This one is about a woman who's a juror on a trial for a serial killer case. This guy has been accused of murdering a number of innocent people, and she can't find it in herself to find him guilty, so he goes free. It's a hung jury. 2 years later, she's on a transatlantic cruise with her 2 twin kids, and halfway across the Atlantic, 3 days in any direction from land or help, people start disappearing on the boat in the same way they did on the trial 2 years earlier. So she starts to wonder, is the killer on board? Is it a copycat? Did I make the wrong choice 2 years ago? And she's the only one with the intimate details of the case that can stop the killer before he kills again on the boat.
it's got a great twist. This one was, and I've read, I'm not trying, thousands of books. I'm a voracious reader, and you gave this one to me. The first 6 pages is the most shocking things I've ever read, like in my life. I get goosebumps even talking about it. It's amazing. So this is it's like a creature feature almost.
That one's being turned into a movie too. Don't Move is an old school 1980s kind of creature feature. It's about a church group from the Bronx that goes on their annual summer camping trip to the woods of West Virginia, but they wander into the wrong woods. I'll leave it at that. It's great. It's great.
It's amazing. Now, he didn't tell me to do this. This is because it's so good. If you go to his booth after his panel and you guys buy a book, he'll autograph the book for you and put like a message in it so you guys can have a book from James Murray right here and get it. It's amazing. They're great. I just had to bring
We
it up.
have Area 51 Interns, which is a kid's book. It came out. The first one came out in March. The second one comes out in October. The third one comes out next March. And then we sold another book. I don't know if I mentioned this last time. It'll be our 9th book. Sold another one that comes out next Christmas. It's a serial killer thriller set during Christmas time called You Better Watch Out. It's great. It's got a killer hook. You will see it coming.
Awesome.
Yes.
Hi. I was wondering, you've filmed in all kinds of places. Is there a location that you and guys would love to film an episode in?
Oh, good. Well, our favorite locations to film in are supermarkets because we eat for free all day. Because they think we're filming it. I just grab stuff off the shelf and start eating it. A place I'd love to film that we haven't been able to. Well, we get to film it at the Empire State Building next week, which we've never filmed there before. I'm excited for that. I would love to film on an airplane. My God, that'd be so much fun, right? 100 ideas come to my mind of the havoc I could cause on an airplane. But go figure, the FAA won't let us do it.
We can't do it.
Thank you.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Gabby.
Hi, Gabby.
We've been messing with him all day,
How so?
calling him the Walmart version of you.
Can I share with you guys something? So the guys and I are, we tour as the Impractical Jokers. Our new tour starts next February. We'll probably be down here in Tampa. So I put a tweet out the other day. One of the bits of the new tour is about fans that think they look like us. Oh, no. And we're gonna, show it on screen and laugh a lot. And so fans have been tweeting photos of people they know that look like us. So one fan tweeted this guy. I hope you can see it. Hold on, let me see. It doesn't really, it kind of looks like me, but it looks like me on acid. It looks like I did a lot of meth, right? It kind of looks like me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know. It's so. And then another fan posted this photo of Sal, of a guy that kind of looks like him, and it kind of does. It kind of looks like Sal slowly turning into a vampire. Is there a screen? Can that camera zoom in? Hold on a second. It looks like the vampire version of Sal. It's great, right? Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know that back. I'm coming on.
Sal should be in Vampire Diaries.
Can I see it side by side? Sure. I see it. You're a handsome son of a bitch.
Well, that answered my question to say on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think he looks?
Well, since he looks like me, I say he's a 10.
What was your least favorite or your worst punishment that you ever got?
Good question.
Oh, God.
Worst punishment I ever got. Well, I've showed this before at panels. I might as well show it again. My driver's license photo still has no eyebrows.
Oh, God.
It's a 10-year punishment. I'm going to go all the way back there. It's a 10-year punishment. I look like a baked potato in my driver's license photo. I can't get a new license for 2 more years. I flew here to Tampa today. I go up to TSA. I take out my license. The guy starts snickering in my face.
Oh, my God, Mr. Potato Head.
I'm happy your brows are back.
It took 3 months to grow. The worst part of that punishment about getting my eyebrows shaved was 1 week after they shaved them, I was my nephew's confirmation sponsor in church. So I had to stand in front of a church of like 300 people proclaiming that I would defend him from Satan while I looked like Satan. What's your question?
Well, you said you're a fan of improv, and as a theater kid, I love improv very much. Do you like Whose Line Is It Anyways?
Oh my God, they're the best.
Okay, good.
Holy cow, Ryan Stiles is amazing, right?
The best, the fantastic. What I meant to ask, I just left my brain, is what keeps you going during improv and keeps you going through the shows? Like if you just get stumped and you're like, man, I gotta keep going. What keeps you going?
You mean when we're performing on the TV show?
Anything.
Well, the paycheck helps. That kind of keeps me going, you know what I'm saying? Knowing that I'm making money. But other than that, so much of Impractical Jokers is in the moment. You can plan all day what you want to do, but you have no idea how people are going to react to what you say or how you're even going to deliver it. So much is done in secret. I don't know what the guys are going to tell me in my ear, so then I've got to calculate how am I going to say it without getting punched, What's the reaction going to be? And then how do I react to that? So, you know what it is? It's just you have to be so much in the moment while on TV that there's literally no room in my brain when I'm on camera to think of anything else other than the moment. And think of how powerful that is, right? That if you could have a moment in your life that's so focused that nothing else comes to your brain except what you're doing, you'd be unstoppable. So that's what filming Impractical Jokers is like. It's incredible focus on being in the moment. There you go.
Who's the best at improvising? Let's remove you, because you're fantastic at it. We know
Thank
that. But of the original, Sal, Q.
I think Joe is so goddamn fast. You know, the challenge we filmed yesterday, I literally turned to the guys and was like, shit, I wish Gatto was here for this. He would have been so fast and quick at it. He's so quick-witted. Yeah. Yes.
Hi.
Hi. What's your name?
Sarah.
Sarah. We met before.
Yes. You made a video for my mom.
How's mom doing?
She freaked out and posted it in really bad quality on Facebook. Freaked out.
Yeah, that's great.
Probably showed my entire family.
Great.
Thank you. I don't know how to word this. Do you ever find it difficult or embarrassing to watch yourself on TV when the episodes air?
Not necessarily, because keep in mind that the guys and I to this day are intimately involved with every single moment of the show in edit, right? So me more than the other guys, I literally give notes on every episode down to the 1/30th of a second, right? Every frame of the show I'll give you notes on, and so I'm controlling the angles that we cut to. So I'll be honest, I very selfishly cut around angles where you see my bald spot as much as I can, or where I look weird, I'll make the editors go to a different shot. So no, I think it'd be weird to go back to the earlier seasons when I had more hair, bushier eyebrows. I had chest hair back then, I shaved it off.
Yeah.
It'd be weird to go back and watch it. One day when the show ends, I will go back and watch from the beginning to the end, all the way through, to see the evolution, to get a sense of it. But I'm sure we look like putzes back then, you know?
Did you have much control when you did the movie, with the editing, or did you lose a little bit of control for the movie?
We did lose control, and then we wrestled it back. They did a cut of the movie, and it was terrible. And so we convinced the network to fire all them, bring in the Joker's editors, and they gave us a boatload more money to correct the edit. And we simply ran out of time. If we had another month, I would have kept editing that better and better and better. But it was the best we could do with the time we had. Yes. Hello.
What's an idea for a punishment that you think would make you quit the show?
Oh, that would make me quit the show?
Oh boy.
I mean, if the punishment was to, like, divorce my wife, I wouldn't do it. I'd be like, no, I love her. I don't know if there's anything that would... I'll tell you what pushed the boundaries for me was the catheter punishment. If you didn't see it, the guys had a doctor insert a catheter in me, and then while holding the bag, I had to ride a zip line in my backyard, and then they had my soon-to-be wife, who has a degree in nursing, take it out of me. That was 2 weeks before my wedding. What they didn't tell me was the effects it would have on these regions for a week afterward. I could not pee for 3 days, and it burned, and I was about to go on my honeymoon a week later. That pushed the boundaries for me. I was pretty, no pun intended, I was pretty pissed. Yes.
The question here is when Sal was in the coffee shop.
Yeah.
And his punishment, and he had that laptop, and it appeared that he had the speakers turned up super loud.
Yeah, he's listening to adult movies.
Yeah, adult movies. I think there was a nun in there. Was that just fortuitous?
Yes, in New York City.
Yeah.
We filmed coincidentally next to a church in the Bronx, right? That being said, I'll tell you a little secret about that punishment. So, he's talking about a punishment from season 1, literally, where Sal's in a coffee shop listening to porn sounds on his computer loudly on speaker, and the customers around him were really angry, right? Because it's so inappropriate. And there's a moment in the episode where you see Sal start to burst out laughing and cry laughing. He's not listening to adult sounds there. What the guys and I did was, in the middle of the adult sounds, at its peak, we cut in the song Your Body's a Wonderland by John Mayer for like 20 seconds, and then cut right back to porn sounds. And that's what makes him cry. We couldn't use the song in the episode, we don't own the rights to it, but fast forward, 10 years later, 1 week ago, John Mayer is going to be a guest on Impractical Jokers next season. It'll be the season premiere for season 10. I lose the episode. And he's been a fan of the show for about a decade now, and He wrote us, he was one of the first fans. Like in 2011 or 12, I guess, one day an email comes in from John Mayer, whatever it was.com, right? And it says, hey guys, just want you to know I'm a huge fan of the show, you guys are killing it. And we're like, okay, sure, this is John Mayer, send us proof of life. I email him back. He sends us back a photo of us, he's holding up a photo of us on our iPad as proof of life, and we've been friends ever since. He is a massive fan. He knows every episode intimately well, so we finally got him on an episode of Practical Jokers, and he let us use Your Body's a Wonderland on the TV show. You're going to see it in the season premiere on February 2nd next year.
So it's changed a little bit because Joe is doing his thing now, but you've been working a lot of celebrities. Has there been any celebrities that you've been super excited to be working with? I mean, obviously, Cooper.
To come, we're dear friends with Paul Rudd. So that is going to come together soon, I hope. And I'm personally very excited that we're very close to landing a lot of you are too young for this, but Michael Bolton, the singer, who I love. I'm obsessed with Michael Bolton. I own Michael Bolton sneakers. So I'm very excited about getting him on the show too. But we also, who else is on next season that we just announced? It just came out today in the article. It'll come to me. Let's keep going. But, oh wait, this is not the go-to. This is not the question.
But, if you guys do have one last question, I have one lined up right over there. But I want to go back real quickly here, also talk about your books. Because you've written 9 books.
We are 9, yeah.
And some of the books you have are these are adult books. And you're also doing these children's books as well, which I haven't read the children's books. But how do you do that? Switch back and forth from doing like heavy fiction to writing for children.
It's a different mentality. But the children's books are actually kind of easier, you know. But when you write a book, you come up with a great idea, concept, you spend a week coming up with the characters and plot and the chapter breakdown, and then you have to pitch it to a publisher, just like you would a TV show, and then you have to write the darn thing and you sell it. But I think that's the switch to writing a middle grade kids comedy science fiction book was so much easier because of jokers, you know? So I could actually be funny in the book. So I do like writing the thrillers better though, for sure.
Do you really?
Yeah, excellent. Sorry, Scott. What's your name?
Zane.
Hi, Zane. Oh, we met before, yeah.
I gotta know, since Joe's not on the show anymore, if there was anything you had in the back pocket saved for him.
Yes. It kills me that we didn't get to do it. I think we had the greatest punishment of all time. We had a hard time pulling it off. COVID derailed the punishment, and then Joe left for personal reasons, and we couldn't do it. But the punishment idea was this. Joe Gatto is an amazing gambler. He's also a terrible gambler. He gambles all the time. He'll go to Atlantic City or Las Vegas, and in one sitting he'll win $10,000 or he'll lose $10,000. He knows every game, and he loves it. He'll go to the casino on his own and just gamble all night, right? And he's very, very good at it. So, the punishment idea we tried for years to do was to go into a casino, and Joe we're not filming the TV show, we're not even there. He's just there, he goes like every other weekend, and he sits at a craps table, and unbeknownst to him, it's part of Impractical Jokers, he's being punished, and he's going to go on the winningest streak of his life. We've rigged the dice so that every throw he does, he wins. He's going to literally win like $100,000 at the craps table. And when at the peak of his winnings, we'd come out and reveal none of it was real. Didn't get to do it. That's the back pocket I've tried for years.
Oh man,
one day,
some way.
Yes.
Hi, Brandon. Nice to meet you. Have you guys ever done like a joke at a con or a convention? If not, is there any ideas that you've thought of, anything like that?
We did, there was a punishment of maybe season 4 or 5 where we made Sal go to a con and he set up like some of the bigger cons have like a massage area where you can go in, pay for massage, what have you. So we set up a massage table booth, and Sal was the massage therapist, but he could only massage people's bare feet. Imagine you've been walking around a con for 5 hours. Your feet are effing gross. Sal's a germaphobe. He almost threw up for doing that. That's how I'm flipping it.
Thank you so much.
Hello, what's your name?
I'm Dawn.
Hi, Dawn. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My family is obsessed with you.
Thank you.
I've always been really.
We're obsessed with your family too, dog.
My one son has seen your shows so many times, I swear he could name every episode. And you're on every day.
Yeah.
So,
we own a TV network.
but I loved your dinner shows.
Oh, thank you. Dinner party?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
And that was the one that really brought me in because I'm not big on pranks. I get upset when people are like mean to one another and stuff. And when you guys have to punish each other, I get really that bothers me.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit harder to please about that than them. But I do. You guys are funny.
Thank you.
But I wondered if you thought about changing the name to Practical Curs without Joe.
What's that? I'm sorry?
I thought.
Oh, Practical Curs?
Yeah.
That's a dumb joke, Dawn.
Sorry.
Practical Curs. So many people come up, we sell merchandise at my table, right? So many people come up and say, you should call it merchandise. Same thing, merchandise. It'll remain the name of the show.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. What's your name, buddy?
My name's David. How long have you known the guys?
What year is it? 32 years. I met them in 1990.
How'd you meet?
We met in religion class, first day of high school. Miss Medusa's class. The first thing I saw Joe Gatto do was put his nose on Miss Medusa's elbow. She was teaching the Beatitudes. That's my first encounter with Joe Gatto. Yeah, 32 years ago.
Is she still around, the teacher?
Miss Medusa or the Beatitudes? I don't know. Her and I don't keep in touch anymore. Not since our bad breakup.
I just wonder if she looks at it, she's like, I helped create that.
I hope she's alive. Hello. What's your name?
I'm Chelsea.
Hi, Chelsea.
Hey. So, happy Shark Week.
Did anybody watch Shark Week? Some people? How good was that episode?
I was in stitches.
It was so fun. If you haven't seen it, we were the hosts of Shark Week this year. So they flew us to the Bahamas and they made us swim with sharks. It was terrifying and hysterical. We filmed the hidden camera challenge as well. Joe Fatone pops into the episode to surprise everyone. It was really good. Go on somewhere and watch it. It's really funny.
So, my question is, how are those dolphins and what are they saying now?
So the cool thing about Discovery, Discovery Channel bought Warner Brothers, which owns True TV and owns everything, right? So we are now owned by Discovery. So it actually worked really well. And I swear to God, they literally let us do whatever we wanted. So they said, Murr, what do you want to do in the episode? I said, okay, here's what I want to do. I want to try to decipher dolphin language and use that to speak to sharks and tell them to stop eating humans. And they bought it. I was like, are you guys crazy? The idea seems like I was really high when I came over, but I wasn't. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Here's the thing, for a lot of people, this is their very first comic convention they've ever been to, so I want to kind of explain this. When this is done, when this panel is done, you guys can go and meet Murr. He's got a booth there. He's got merchandise for sale, and you go sit there and chat with him and tell him also about your favorite adventures, and you go purchase these different books.
By the way, is anybody coming to our show tonight? Some people? Does anyone not know I have a show tonight? It's here at the Con. It's Murr Live. It's an hour-and-a-half comedy show of stories from the set, where we show hidden camera challenges from the TV show that you've never seen before. I do a couple of shots on stage in the game. It's super interactive with the audience. I might need a couple of volunteers, and I might borrow some cell phones from the crowd. And at the end of the live show, it's tonight at 8 o'clock. If you come to our booth, you can get a ticket. At the end of the show, I send someone out into the streets of Tampa wearing an earpiece, and a camera guy follows you, and the live audience can watch you on screen, and you've got to do and say what I tell you to. We play Impractical Jokers live.
Yeah, you have to get a ticket to go to that.
Yeah. Come to the booth, and you can scan the QR code to come to it. It's going to be so much fun.
Can you guys give me a huge round of applause for everybody? He's so talented, he's so fun, he's really funny. Read his books. I'm pushing those because they're amazing, and I love reading the book. Read his books. Once again, give a huge round of applause for everybody. I don't know if you guys know this, but he can still hear